Hello, this is Vanessa, and this is my second entry for British media. In media and culture this week, my observations are as honest as I can make them and even somewhat surprising. Brixton is a cultural hub for East and West Indian culture and some Mexican culture, even. It's a place that I'm also very fond of. There, I met two students from Cambridge, and we met for lunch at the Grill. It was nice to meet and converse with women of color abroad. P&M were from Ghana and Sierra Leone, respectively, and we talked about popular culture, education, and other realms in the lives of British and Americans. Conversing with M, she told me that the Trayvon verdict had deterred her from wanting to move to the States, which I thought was a little weird because, in my observation, people of color are facing similar injustices here in the UK as I've seen in the States. So I thought that was very interesting. Her personal belief is that our justice system is extremely corrupt and crude. And so it just made me think about civil activism and the importance of, sharing that and making a difference in our communities. So I did find her disposition interesting. Prior to meeting these young ladies, I found that people of color in the U.S., like I said, have the same sort of like treatment. I have seen, for example, in the work environment and places of employment, that there's either a high population or a lack of representation. For example, I've seen no Indian or Jamaican officers or construction workers, but I've noticed a high number of them in a marketplace, for example. I've also noticed on television, which I'll admit I hardly watch, that I've only seen in my two instances, black males being talked down to on news coverage, and a show that was very similar to what is our first 48 in the States. So I'll be fair enough to say I'll keep a more open eye out for the television, but that was just a representation that I thought was interesting. Black men seem to have a very thuggish persona here on the media and advertisements. Lastly, because I'm going to make this fast, that same evening after lunch with the girls, I went to Leicester Square and I went to a nightclub. I think it's called like the Zoo or something like that. And there was a Nigerian bathroom attendant, and I tipped her and we got to speak. And she mentioned that she was a mother of three and that environment wasn't suitable for her, but it was honest work. And she mentioned, more importantly, that there are people who open up shops that offer African services or goods that don't necessarily have the skill, the knowledge, or the background. And not only do they take away from the authenticity of those services and goods, but from the hands of Africans who are best fit to offer those services and goods. The difference is that the English people have the money to open up and run those businesses, whereas the Africans here don't. It's nothing that I haven't seen before, but it was very nice to have that conversation. She kissed me twice, and she made me smile in my heart. So that was very nice to have these instances and these occurrences with these three women in any regard. Thank you.